It happened when I was in middle school, 7 years ago. I lived in a small village and there was a man in my neighborhood. He lived in a small house next door and always walked around barefoot. So I used to call him Mr. Barefoot. Whenever I came across him on the street, he used to ask me to come over to his place. But my mother always told me to be careful of him because she had heard some screams of women from his house several times. Maybe she might have heard incorrectly, but she was still wary of him as she thought there was something fishy about him. However, I believed he was a good man. One day I met him on the street by chance. I grumbled at him that I was so tired of school. Then he said, smiling broadly, "Oh yeah, you want to stop being annoyed by such crap and be free, right? I know how to set you free. Come over to my place and I'll show you." He held out his hand. However, just for a fleeting moment, I sensed something horrible about him. I mean, from his hand and his eyes, I felt like if I did hold his hand, he would just haul me into his place. I turned him down, saying my mom wouldn't allow it. His mouth was still smiling, but his eyes were not. He was actually frowning, and his hands were trembling. I hurried to school. When night fell, I wasn't able to sleep because of the irresistible lure of curiosity. So I went to his house on the quiet and peeped into his place through the window. In the house, he was eating bread with a glass of wine at a dining table covered with food. There were also women lying around on the couch and bed. It looked pretty weird, so I went home, and I didn't take it too seriously. After that day, he would continue to shout at me whenever we happened to meet on the street. "Set you free!" One day, it was very noisy outside. I went out to see what was going on. Police officers. They were located at Mr. Barefoot's house. I heard a shocking thing, that 3 dead women were found inside. Each of them was lying on the couch, the bed, and the bathtub. What's weird is that all 3 were iron chained by the neck, and the chains were broken. On the back of their necks, carved with a knife, was largely written, "Free." I heard Mr. Barefoot yelling at the police, "They're truly free at last, breaking away from the yoke of life, all thanks to me." The police handcuffed him and took him away. When the police asked him why he killed the women, he answered like this, "Sir, what do you think freedom is? Only death is truly freedom, which has been desired by all humans." That's exactly what I gave them. Maybe foolish people think I am such a criminal or murderer, but I absolutely don't care about it, because I know what I did was the only way to help them find true happiness. According to the investigation, he kidnapped the women, bound them with iron chains, and cut the chains off by hammering them hard. The women were killed while he was doing so. Not surprisingly, he was sent to jail. However, after some time, I received a letter from him. This is what the letter said. "I feel so sorry. I am locked up here and cannot kill you. Because I can't get out of here, I will send you my messenger, who will kill you on my behalf. I know this is the only way to set you free. Little boy, believe me, and you will find true happiness. When you finally meet my messenger, put yourself in his hands. He will end your life just in the blink of an eye, without pain. I can't wait to see you free, though I could only see it in a photograph. Till then, take care." After I read it all, I called the police right away, screaming. My father even hired a bodyguard for me. A few days later, a man really broke into my house. He choked the bodyguard with an iron chain until he passed out, then cruelly hammered the bodyguard's neck. While he was completely absorbed in hammering, the police finally arrived and took him away. The bodyguard was terribly wounded. The criminal was identified to be Mr. Barefoot's friend. It was so unbelievably horrible that just a couple of days later, my family and I moved out right away. 7 years have passed, and fortunately, nothing has happened to me until now. But deep down, inside me, I'm still awfully scared. Scared that he will send me a letter again.